4 children kidnapped and killed. Decades later, still no arrests, but some new evidence has surfaced showing the Oakland County child killer could still be alive. These crimes left families living in fear and police absolutely baffled in the 70s.
And the investigators are still hard at work. Now, though, the defenders take you inside the case, revealing information that could lead to an arrest. Here's our Kevin Dietz with his exclusive.
This is part of a 6,000-page file made public under the Freedom of Information Act. It allows, for the first time ever, top prosecutors to speak publicly about evidence and suspects in the Oakland County child killer case. Bombshell number 1 involves suspect Christopher Bush. Sources tell me he did not do it. Here's what prosecutors say about Bush, the man many family members of victims insist is the killer.
There isn't a piece of evidence that we can point to and say, Mr. Bush killed Timothy King, Jill Robinson, Christine Mihalik, or Mark Stebbins.
On the record for the first time ever saying there is zero evidence suggesting Christopher Bush is the Oakland County child killer. His DNA does not match the physical evidence they have.
Whatever evidence that may or may not exist does not come back to Bush.
Police sources tell me Bush's suicide scene is suspicious and may have actually been a murder. They know he had this drawing of a tortured boy that closely resembles victim Mark Stebbins on the wall. They found these ropes in his closet, and he had a blue Vega car that looked like the infamous blue gremlin seen at one of the abductions. None of that matters because investigators tell me he did not do it. Someone else did, a suspect who is still alive and will be arrested very soon if they get the right kind of DNA match.
When we're going in and arguing for a conviction to a jury, we're generally going in there with something referred to as autosomal DNA. That is like 1 in a quadrillion, 15 zeros after that.
Prosecutors can't talk about who they are after because it's against the law to discuss a grand jury investigation. But listen closely and you decide if the killer is still alive.
We are a prosecutor's office that is looking to bring a case to the light of a courtroom for potential prosecution and to hold someone accountable.
They're going forward, and they've made a lot of steps, momentous steps.
We don't have the resources to go back and simply look at something for a historic perspective.
In other words, they don't investigate cases where the killer is already dead. They're on a manhunt for someone who is alive. They've been beefing up the task force and getting results.
Sending physical evidence to the lab, looking at things freshly.
The prosecutors also want to clear up misinformation on evidence in this case. They confirm the 4 victims all had white dog hair found on them. But you've never heard this before. None of the white hairs are from the same animal.
There hasn't been any consistency in animal hairs other than it is white animal hair, period.
Not only are the kids not connected by the same white dog hairs, the carpet fibers we have believed to have been on all 4 children are not necessarily from the same carpet.
The scientists are telling me, well, it means exactly that. It's in the same optical plane. It's the same color scheme.
And the shotgun shell in Christopher Bush's room, you may think it's a .22 caliber like the one used to kill victim Jill Robinson. The truth is, the caliber cannot be determined.
They even took it to NASA to try and see if they could get an identification of the caliber, and there was no way in which they could do that.
The ropes found in Bush's room, investigators tracked down the person who analyzed them.
Had there been any blood on that rope or ligature, he would have sent it on to the trace evidence unit.
They say much of the misinformation being reported came from one unofficial report in the 6,000 pages.
This report is so incredibly inaccurate.
The defenders have learned that even though the case is 35 years old, investigators have plenty of excellent evidence from the crime scenes that with today's technology can lead to the killer, an arrest, and a trial.
We're in the process of trying to make that determination.
What do family members of the victims think about these stunning new developments? They'll be with us live tomorrow on Local 4 News Morning, beginning at 6 a.m. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
So many developments yet to unfold in this case. You can follow the Oakland County child killer investigation on the Defenders page at our website, clickondetroit.com.
And we hope they hurry up so those parents can have some kind of information that they really need.